October 23rd, 2025. Is that right? Yes, it is. Man, I'll tell you what, time, what an illusion it is. So today I woke up and it was frosted, the grass, and I don't know, it got down to obviously close to freezing. You know, I had frosted grass, not frosted glass, frosted grass. I do like frosted glass. Frosty mugs. I like those mugs. So, yeah, the weather. Last night I went out and supposedly this Swan comet was passing through, and I think yesterday was one of the nearest points, but it's in the southern sky and you're supposed to watch it shortly after sunset because I think it drops below the horizon the further you go in the evening. I went out too late, didn't see it. There was a little bit of background distortion, or I should say light pollution, you know, from near, believe it or not, where I'm at. It's the smaller towns, you can see it glowing, you know, you can tell where the towns are in the southern sky. So, I didn't see it. Tonight I'm going to make a better effort and try and get out there after sunset instead of going out so late. Hopefully I can see it. I'd like to see it in the sky. Signs and portents. Nostradamus, when the comet shall run. Plagues. The apocalypse. You know, the thing about the apocalypse is, which I think people are reading the playbook and ushering it in, because they know the script and they're just carrying it along. Let me turn this fan down. The heat's actually working pretty good in here. The diesel started at about 32 degrees this morning without issue, not plugged in, so that's a good sign. The silver slipper, well, the thing is, the silver slipper's fine. It's just the arm that's holding the camera has got an issue, it seems. Now I got a real problem, because I'm going down the road and I cannot adjust it. All right, this is rigged, all the rigging. You know, when life throws you a curveball, what do? Adjust your swing. Figure it out. What the heck? You know, sometimes I'll take the beanball. Just go ahead and hit me and I'll take my base. You know what? That's a price you pay to move forward, I guess. Rather have base hits than a home run. Be consistent. All right, so, yeah, the comet. When the comet shall run, the apocalypse. Gotta retrain here, rewind. Okay, I'm back. The apocalypse. All the apocalypse is, you know, even though they're trying to bring that in, and then you've got this alien spacecraft potentially coming at the end of the month. I mean, this is all, in my mind, you know, part of a big show. This religious awakening. It's twofold. You can use religion to enslave people into a mindset, or it can awaken something much deeper to where you reconnect with the source, reconnect with God, reconnect with the universe, the oversoul could be your oversoul, the oversoul, however the source. Let's just call it the source of all that is, as Benny says. So this awakening period can go two different ways. You can become entrained into a doctrine that is foisted upon you, and a narrative that is, you know, hijacking your spiritual energy into following that narrative that they produce for you. They, capital they. We gotta watch this camera. Okay. Or you can use it as an opportunity to awaken yourself, and you reconnect directly, without an intermediary, without someone giving you the path, the way, because I think you already internally know that. I'm pretty sure you do. You just have to kind of dig through these layers of flesh and layers of inundative world. What are you going to call it? I'm not paying attention now. Dig through these layers that have been heaped upon you. You know, you've got this clean, innocent, open soul when you come into this world. And okay, and then as we go through this world, we get educated and we get socialized out of our original existence. I was writing last night. Yeah, I'm starting to write again. It's very cathartic. And I was thinking about an event that happened to me in second grade, and I remember it very clearly. And it was an intuitive event where I knew what had happened before it happened. Or before I was told that it happened. It had happened, but I knew that it happened. And then it's like, oh, this happened. But it was a knowing. It was just just knew. It was a voice in my head. You know, I knew it happened. And I'll get into that at some point. I don't want to get into that, what it is. But, you know, I recounted it in my writing last night as I reflect back on things. You're connected, and see, it's that innocence. And then when you tell that story, people are like, okay, yeah, that's great. That's cool that you knew that. But we've had those flashes, those moments of connection, of prescience, intuition. We've all had it, and we've all had it our whole lives. It's just, remember back when you were young, when you were a child, you thought you could fly. You know, you thought, oh my gosh, you know, I can become invisible, or whatever magic that you thought you could create. You believed it, and you knew that if you thought about it enough, you knew that it would happen. You knew that you could do it. You knew you could do anything. You felt it, and then that gets stamped out of you. Okay, little Johnny, you know, sit in class and be good. And, you know, whether it be parents, relatives, friends, teachers, priests, preachers, people around you, they stamp it out of you. Oh, now you need to get real. That's not real life. That's not how things are. And, you know, we kill the imagination, and that imagination is that thing that allows your mind to tap into those things that are possible, but are considered maybe impossible. Because we live in this artificial reality, that this construct, that it's a collective construct. And what if we all just stop believing in it and return to that childlike innocence? Return to that childlike thinking, that youthful thinking of anything is possible. What if we did that? How would things change? Because every day, if you decide to make it a good day, even though you're not having a good day, if you put yourself in the mindset of having a good day, you can make it a good day, because it's how you react to things. You're shaping your own reality. You can laugh if somebody cuts you off and say, wow, that guy's in a hurry. And instead of that piece of, you know, it's all in how we interpret things. It's all in how we look at things. If you don't let those things affect you, and then you stay on your own path and stay on your own reality, you create your own reality in many ways. Now, what if we did that collectively? There have been experiments where steering hurricanes. I think there have been CIA documents released lately that go to the same thing, that if we tap into what we are and who we are, I think we're pretty much unlimited. We're tapping into that source power. Because if you think about it, you know, the universe, God, the source, all that is, it's all interconnected. And we're just, think of a spaceship, a mothership, and we all kind of drop down as little pods, you know, little craft from that mothership. We're still part of it. We still came from it. You can still be connected to it, you know, send transmissions back and forth telepathically, or through frequencies in some shape or form. We're all connected. Everything is connected. People use psychedelics, you know, I've never done it, but, you know, I think it'd probably be something that I would resonate with. Let's just say that, just because of the way my mind works. But they see shapes and colors, and, you know, the color has a sound or a frequency, and it's just, you know, it opens up a whole new aspect of your thinking. But I think it's always there. It's just locked. I think of people who are, quote, on the spectrum, autistic people, severely autistic people. Are they living in a different timeline? Are they living in a different reality? Are they accessing different parts of their brain? We look at them like, oh my gosh, you know, they're special. They don't have, you know, the tools to fit into normal society. Well, maybe that society really isn't so normal, and maybe they're seeing things that we don't see, and they're tapped into deeper levels of their being, their DNA, their soul, their spirit, that we aren't. And they're just looking at things differently, and they look at this world and think, wow, this is madness, this is confusing, this is overwhelming, because it's not real. And what they see is real, and they see it in many different shapes and forms than we do. So we're not accessing, to get back to the point, we're not accessing who we are, and we've lost that innocence, that creativity, that creative impulse, that fire, that just pure magic that is within us. I think we're all magicians. We're all alchemists. We can shape things. I mean, the food you eat is alchemy. It shapes your body. It makes you think differently. It makes you feel differently. You drink a lot of caffeine, what's it do to you? You take drugs, what's it do to you? You drink a lot of alcohol, what's it do to you? You start eating clean food, what's it do to you? And so we are all exercising alchemy and magic tricks, just through the food we eat. And so with our thought processes, I don't say processes, it sounds too educated to me. This doesn't make sense to me, so I always say processes. But yeah, through our processes and through our thoughts, what are we not shaping that we should be shaping? Why are we not youthful and childlike and, playing on the ball diamond and thinking, imagining that you're hitting that home run in a big stadium, imagining all the things you can do. I will be president someday, and you believe those things. You believe that you can do those things, and there's not a hesitation. And now if we think of doing things that are outside of the normal 9 to 5, outside of the normal routine, we're seeing we self-check ourselves, we self-police ourselves, because we're so used to getting policed by everyone around us that we're not living freely. We're not living and thinking as creative beings without limits. That's why I love art, because it's without limits. Free form writing, just write, whatever it is, just write. I had a creative writing class in high school, and that's, you just write, just sit down and write anything that comes to mind. It's just like that subconscious connection and tapping in. Art is the same way. Music is the same way. That's all art. But I'm just thinking the painting art and drawing. You're expressing something inside of you that's just flowing, and you allow it to happen. It's very good for us to do those things. But how often do we do it? Just like writing, I started writing again because I need to let things out and freely do that. And, I make these videos a lot, and a lot of times I will tap into that just free flowing, a little bit of subconscious, and I call it the stream of consciousness. But it's just, you let it flow, and whatever comes. It's very good for us to do that. Dreams, that's our ultimate form of connection to those things unseen, that it releases us from all of this physical nonsense and this matrix that we're in. Take note of those. They're important. Take note of those thoughts that you have. Just like I took note of that thing that happened to me in second grade. It was, I knew when it happened. I understood it. It was clear. And moments like that, I never forget, because I don't know how I knew, but I knew. And there are times in my life where my intuition, I just know. And don't ask me to explain it. I just know. I meet people, I just know. I go to these crypto conferences, I see people, I watch how they react, I can see their energy. I just know. And I just know that there are some people that, no, don't need those people in my sphere. And before I even have to meet them, and when I meet them, validates it. It's just that energy, that frequency, and when you trust your intuition and when you're tuned into it, you understand and you see things differently. You see things in a more pure, innocent level, a childlike level. It's just that instinct that's connected to all things. Okay, there's some thinking Thursday, thoughtful Thursday, woo-woo Thursday. Speaking of woo-woo, I got the interview tomorrow. I got to get, it's with Mariam Haneen. I don't know if it's going to be a live stream on her channel. I'll be doing it tomorrow from 2 to 3 my time. And I got to find out if it's a live stream. And if so, I'll share the link. I don't know if it's recorded or not. But I'll be doing that. And then happy hour later with the lovely Litecoin Lisa. Yeah, that interview will be, that'll be all over the board. There's no set topics, and where she can go with her thoughts and my thoughts, and we're just going to see what happens. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. So we'll do that. All right. I'll give you more details tomorrow as I have the links and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. He'll get into the subconscious here with me. and all the things. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day. I really do. Never let yourself deviate so far from, you know, your thinking and your innocence and your creative impulse and that magic that you once held when you were a child. Don't ever let that die. And I think so many of us do. As we get older, we forget about those things, and we get caught up in things that really don't matter. Oh my gosh, do I have enough money for retirement? Oh my gosh, you know, how am I going to pay this bill? Oh, you know, what's going to happen if this happens? Oh, and you worry about all this stuff. Who cares? Who cares? Sun's shining on my face. I tell you, all is right with the world. Do not fret over those things. There's so much to live for, and so many magical things that you can make happen. You just got to start doing it. You just have to. You got to believe. You got to believe in yourself, and you got to know who you are and where you come from. All right. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll get you more information on this stuff tomorrow, but tomorrow's Friday. Every day's Friday, baby. All right. Love you all. Trust yourselves.